Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Tuesday, 1st of April. I'm Amy Forrest. In today's news, during this time of year when moustaches are a fuzzy memory, we take the opportunity to reflect back on the previous year's Mo growing efforts. The results are in for the organisation's Movember campaign, raising awareness for men's health. With 21 countries participating in this campaign, 4,026,562 people participated, raising $705 million, which is now funding 770 men's health programs. The results report 75% of men were now more aware of the health risks they face, and 62% of men went to see a medical professional to improve their health. That's certainly impressive, so take a look at Movember.com to see how you can get involved this year. If you're not sure how to get rid of your business waste or household items, Bay of Plenty Regional Council's Waste and Recycling Directory just might have the answer. The newly improved search directory is a fast and easy way to find companies that recycle waste materials in the Bay of Plenty. The directory is for households or businesses looking to stop their waste going to landfill, and while it's been operating for 3 years, it's just had a revamp to make it more user-friendly. Bay of Plenty Regional Council Project Implementation Officer Reese Irving says all businesses or individuals need to do is search for the type of waste they have and where they are based. You can find the Waste and Recycling Directory at recycle.boprc.gov.nz. Now, not many people like being stuck in traffic, but for Hayden Wardley, he's stuck in the traffic by choice. Hayden is the eyes of the Tauranga Traffic Control Centre, constantly monitoring a wall of 30 screens to see if there are any developing problems on the roads. His eyes scan over the screens in front of him in the Tauranga City Council offices that capture live action at key intersections from Bethlehem to Papamoa. When something draws his attention, he zooms in, assesses the situation, then adjusts traffic signals to help smooth the flow. TCC Transport Manager Martin Parks has seen the cameras become a more critical part of the system than he ever expected. When the council started with 4 traffic cameras 6 years ago, they will now be growing to 40 operating by the end of this year. With the high cost of expanding the road network, the control centre is focused on improving traffic flow efficiency so more cars can safely use existing roads, with vehicle movements increasing each year. Today, Tauranga's system is a leader in the field, ranking on par with Christchurch and only behind Auckland in its use of cameras. 35 people have drowned in New Zealand this summer, which is 4 more than last summer and the equivalent of 3 drownings every week. Over the official summer period, 8 deaths occurred while the victims were participating in water sports or recreational activity. A further 7 people drowned as a result of accidental immersion and 5 died in powered boat accidents. The Bay of Plenty had the greatest number of drownings at 8, which is double its 5-year summer period average of 4. Water Safety New Zealand CEO Matt Claridge says the under-5s are a big priority for the sector, and Water Safety New Zealand will launch a new campaign targeting parents and caregivers of the under-5s called the Within Arm's Reach campaign. The University of Waikato will be opening its doors to young and old on Saturday, May 17th, as it hosts its first Community Open Day. As part of the university's 50th celebrations this year, the Saturday afternoon event is a family-friendly public showcase of the university's facilities, campus, research and history. More information can be found at waikato.ac.nz. Taking a look at the marine forecast now, west coast variable 10 knots with high tide at 12:30 tonight. East coast developing late Wednesday with an easterly 15 knots, with your high tide is at 1 minute to 10 tomorrow morning. Still to come on Central News, we take a look at the highlights from the Balloons Over Waikato Night Glow. Join us after the break. Welcome back to Central News. Balloons Over Waikato have run many events throughout Hamilton over the past week, leading up to the big night glow on Saturday. I was one of the predicted 80,000 people to attend the event, and I had a chat with the Managing Director, Michelle Connell.
So Michelle, what an exciting week for you. How did it all begin 15 years ago?
The ballooning event had been around for a little while and then went through some tough times. So at that stage it was the Chamber of Commerce decided that they did not want Hamilton to lose it, so they formed a trust. And from then on the trust has been the governing body that's looked after the event, and it's just continued to evolve from there.
Wonderful. So what are some of the things that has helped it to grow over the years and the way that it's changed?
I think the Night Glow's evolved. It's become now a huge big event that is a 5-hour event, and we incorporate entertainment and bring the families down. And the fact that it's free, it's now one of New Zealand's last large-scale free events. And because of that, there's not a lot of entertainment you can get for free these days. The special shapes are also a big part of it. We invest heavily in bringing 3 to 4 different special shapes every year, and they're the stars of the show, so the crowd loves them, and I think we just try and keep the wow factor every year, and it continues to grow.
Yeah, definitely. So what can we expect for tonight's event?
Well, we've started. It's 4 o'clock, so we as part of the university's 50th birthday, we're celebrating the last 5 decades of music, so there's going to be music from the bands playing the 60s, the 70s, the 80s and 90s and today, so that'll be really great. And then of course there's an aerobatic display, and there's lots of food, rides, carnival, and then of course the glow show at 8 o'clock, followed by our biggest fireworks display to date.
Now Michelle, I know you've been extremely busy running around, so what is your role involved today?
Pulling it all together really, and throughout the year my role, because we're a not-for-profit, my role is about securing grants and sponsorship, because we're now a $900,000 event to run this event, so that is a big part of what I do. And then obviously the logistics around this 5-day event. We've basically got 2 events every single day for 5 days, and the Night Glow in itself stands out on its own.
Yeah. So it is amazing that the event is free. So how do you maintain that event staying free?
It's a mantra of our trust actually, that we always will be a free event. So we are fortunate to have sponsorship and grants because we're free and because we're such a community event. So we've got some fantastic strategic partners and sponsors on board.
Now I hear that you had the Balloons Over Hobbiton event last weekend, so how did it go? Was it magical?
Oh, it was amazing, and the idea was born out of 2 fantastic Waikato iconic attractions becoming one, and it was just brilliant, and it was fantastic to work with the people at Hobbiton, and it was the first time that Hobbiton had actually been lit at night, so it was a really fantastic night, so something that we might like to talk to them about doing again.
And you mentioned it was a fundraiser. Who were you fundraising for, and how much was raised?
$10,000 was raised, and through an auction and through the ticketing, and the major recipients is the Lions Cancer Lodge. We have a nominated charity as part of the event, and this year and next year it's Lions International, and it's the Lions BOP Cancer Lodge in Hamilton that get majority of that money.
Okay, now heading back to tonight's event. Now it's very centred around the weather, isn't it? So how's that been going?
We're totally weather dependent, and we have had a couple of challenging mornings because the first day we had too much wind, even though it was fine, and the second morning we were challenged with fog, but though they did fly. Friday morning, but today's been beautiful. We had a magnificent flying this morning, and I think tomorrow's going to be great as well. So it is difficult with such a weather dependent event, but overall it's been great, and it's great weather for a night glow tonight too.
And how many people do you expect to attend tonight?
Well, with being such a beautiful day and a wonderful forecast, probably around that 70 to 80,000 that we normally get. I imagine we've already got a lot of people pouring in already.
Yeah. And what other entertainment is available for families?
Well, they can come down at 4 and make a picnic of it. There's food, lots and lots of different varieties of food, entertainment from teenage entertainment and carnivals through to little kids rides, lots and lots for them to do, and also it's probably a great opportunity to be able to wander through the university campus that a lot of people don't realise they can do, and which is is part of our partnership with them, is to see how fantastic the campus is. And then of course come to about 7:45 is when the balloons start to get ready for the glow show at 8, and followed by a fireworks display. And then we do have a band finishing up for the last half hour, and the rides are open, and that just helps ease people out so there's not huge traffic jams at the end of the night.
And so have you started planning the event for next year?
Not yet, although always planning in a way, but and lots of ideas come through as you're running this event. But we sit down and have our planning day in June as a trust and as the event team, and dedicate a whole day to new ideas and what we're going to bring to the event next year. So looking forward to that.
So are you looking for potential sponsors?
Always. I always need, it's always about the fundraising. So there is lots and lots of opportunities, and we are a high profile event. We get a lot of media and a lot of branding opportunities. So we welcome anyone to give us a call.
Wonderful. Well, I'll let you get back to it because I know you're very busy, but thank you very much, Michelle.
Thank you.
Later in the show, we'll be hearing from Flight Director Martin Stacey. Coming up after the break, we find out what makes ADMARC unique. Welcome back to Central News. ADMARC began as a small label and screen printing business and is now a successful multi-award winning business with specialties in screen, digital and label printing, and has won over 100 awards since 2003. Anne-Marie spoke with Sales and Marketing Director Lisa Pilling to discover the point of difference that keeps ADMARC bringing in the recognition.
ADMARC's no stranger to winning awards. I counted 102 highly commended silver, bronze and gold awards since 2003.
I know, we have done very, very well, both nationally and internationally. And, it's a huge credit really to our staff. So it's fantastic.
What does the win at the World Label Awards mean to ADMARC?
International recognition that we are at the top of our game. Leaders in print, not just in New Zealand, but internationally.
How do you stay on top of your game?
Keeping up to play with technology, being at the forefront, being the leaders really. Like quite often when we purchase new machinery, we are the first company in New Zealand to install that machine. And we've done all the research about why we want it and what it's going to achieve for us and for our clients, and also having highly skilled staff.
How has ADMARC changed since it started in 1994?
Driven by customers really, like everything here is driven by customers. We serve our customers, that's our job, and customers come to us and they want this and they want to do it this way, and that is what we do. So the whole market is changing and constantly changing. Everything's on shorter lead times now. There's people with big budgets, instead of spending them over a year, they want to spend them in 5 days, and we just have to live at that level.
You've recently done the signage at Avantidrome. Tell me about that.
So very tight time frame out there. We've done most of the signage, which was completed at the end of last week. Looks fantastic. So that's internally and externally. So we worked with the designers and architects to obviously get everything looking perfect. And we've still got a bit of signage to go out there. So fantastic project to be involved with.
What's one award you're still striving for?
Well, in New Zealand annually we have the Pride in Print Awards, which are held roughly in May each year, and that's for the whole print industry, so newspapers, labels, magazines, digital graphics. So the one award that we'd really love to win is the Supreme Champion Award, which is the overall winner of all the medals.
For more details, go to admarcprint.co.nz. Back to the Balloons Over Waikato event over the weekend. Earlier in the show we spoke with Michelle, who manages the event on the ground, and on Saturday I also spoke with the man in charge of the show up in the air, Flight Director Martin Stacey.
I'm what they call the flight director or balloon meister. I'm responsible for everything the balloon does, from when it takes off, flies through the air till it lands, controlling the airspace, making sure the flight's safe, the balloonists have a task that's challenging them and they enjoy it, and solving basically any problems that they have. So it's a huge tasking, if you like, to make the whole event work, because that's what it is. It's all about balloons flying.
Wow, sounds like a high pressure job.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. You get the same silly questions from people, but hey, we're here to solve the problems. And as I said, make it challenging so people want to come back, make it spectacular for the people to see, so it encourages people to be part of the event and draw people to this marvellous place you've got here in the Waikato. So it's all about that.
Yeah. Okay, so how did you get into such a career?
Well, before flight directing, I'm a passionate balloonist. Ballooning is what I love to do. It's a magical sky experience. It's three-dimensional sailing, and from getting those skills and developing that into going into competitions, world championships, national championships, and then from there I've come to this Balloon Fiesta for about 20 years. So the logical thing was to challenge myself and go from flying the balloon to try and give the people competitions to achieve and running it, and I found that is a huge challenge.
And you mentioned that you are a pilot, so what qualifications did you need to gain for this career?
I'm actually a commercial pilot. I run my own balloon business in Methven in Christchurch, in Mount Hutt, and so I've got a commercial pilot's license, got all those qualifications, but it comes from ballooning is experience, experience and experience. No one balloon ride is ever the same. We fly with the wind, and whatever the wind is doing is whatever the balloon's doing. So you have to get all those skill sets up and recognising the wind, recognising how you fly to land in those conditions.
Okay, so we can trust that everyone will be safe this evening. So you've also worked on a few events around the country?
I've done the Wairarapa Balloon Fiesta, which is a very small country event. It's very much by pilots for pilots, and I love doing that as well. It just gets all the grassroots. We're nurturing our balloonists to come through. Most of our balloonists in New Zealand are families. You've got mum and dad or grandfather coming up with granddaughter and sons and daughters flying. So we have, it's self-perpetuating hopefully, and what we want to do is have a safe environment. We have one rule in ballooning: I'd rather be on the ground wishing I'm in the air than in the air wishing I'm on the ground. As long as you keep that going through your head, you have a safe environment.
Okay, so what can we look forward to for tonight's event?
Well, hopefully we'll have a spectacular night glow. We've got 4 special shapes here. We've got the hummingbird, we've got the angry bird, which is a fantastically glowing red balloon. We've got the rocket man, and the birthday cake, because of course we're celebrating 150 years here. So and then we've got all the other balloons in between, and we've got a thing that's quite unique to this here. We have what we call a basket burn, or the Americans call it a candle burn, where we've put actual baskets out amongst the public, and we have the burners going there, and they can experience the flame and the heat, and it should be quite a spectacular event.
Yeah.
Up next on Central News, we discover more about a new community centre that is taking shape in Hamilton. Welcome back to Central News. Pledges from the local Anglican community in Hamilton, including Dinsdale, Forest Lake and Norton, has seen nearly $500,000 raised to fund a new community centre, with another $500,000 coming from sponsors and grants. With $90,000 still to be raised, Anne-Marie spoke with Te Rongopai Community Trust Chairwoman Suzanne Rouse to find out more.
There wasn't much facilities in this area, particularly to be used for sports and games and things like that. Also, as this area is a lower socio-economic area, we're keen to offer a range of services and programs that will benefit this community.
The Good News Community Centre sits on land that's owned by the Anglican Diocese. Has the build been funded by the church also?
Yes, the land has been leased to the Te Rongopai Community Trust, and we're very grateful for the peppercorn rate that the diocese is charging. Also, congregations from 3 local Anglican churches have heavily supported financially this project. That's Holy Trinity at Forest Lake, St Mark's here in Norton, and West Hamilton and Dinsdale. So together those 3 churches donated nearly $500,000 from the fundraising done there.
Are there more fundraising plans coming up?
We are currently running some Trade Me auctions, and we're looking for more items to list on Trade Me. If you've got anything we could list and sell. And we hope to run a few more fundraising ventures once the facilities are up and running, such as a quiz night.
How will the centre benefit the community?
Yeah, we really hope that the local community here will see this as a heart of their community and will engage in it. We do hope to offer our existing programs, which include a weekly community meal, community games and children and youth programs. And then we hope to offer quite a few new services such as budgeting, counselling, a homework centre and some physical activities as well.
Tell me about the programs and services you hope to provide.
We'll continue to run the existing programs, and that includes a community meal once a week, community games, particularly for children, and we also run a touch game at the local park. And we hope to offer a lot of new services. They include counselling, budgeting, to have a homework centre, and sports groups as well. So.
When's the centre due to be completed?
The project should be ready for our use in July, so it's happening very quickly.
You've received $500,000 so far. How have you raised the other $500,000?
Yeah, we received 3 grants, one from D.B. Bryant Trust, one from Trust Waikato and one from Well Energy. So we're very grateful for those 3 grants, and we've still got a shortfall of $90,000, and that's what we're trying to raise for at the moment.
How can people donate?
Yes, we'd love for you to come on board and help us with this project. If you could go to our Facebook page, Good News Community Centre, there's all the details there about how to donate.
For more details on donating, go to the Facebook page Good News Community Centre. Taking a look at the weather for the Waikato for Wednesday, Hamilton morning fog for you, clearing with a high of 25 and a low of 11. Paeroa much the same for you with a high of 23 and a low of 12. Matamata a high of 22 and a low of 13. Te Awamutu, you're a bit warmer with a high of 25. And Tokoroa a high of 22 and an overnight low of 11. Taking a look at the Bay of Plenty now with Tauranga. Be careful on those roads with that morning fog. Your high is 23 and a low of 15. And Te Puke, light winds with a high of 21. That's Central News for today. Make sure you like us on Facebook and let us know if there's news or an event in your community. Thanks for joining me. I'm Amy Forrest. Ka kite anō.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.